So next up is what group set did I choose? So this is kind of a big one. This is how to get this right. I do really advise just buying an entire group set. But again, with the different gear ratios I wanted, I couldn't get a group set that offered me what I wanted. I wanted a 2x11, but also with really large cassette at the back. I also wanted a crank that was 165 long, which would suit my height. So to get those two things, I just couldn't find any. GRX came close, but the problem with GRX is they don't offer a crank with 165 length. Now I know this might sound like why the hell is that a deal breaker, but I want to make sure that the bike is comfortable and it doesn't cause any injury. And I think a shorter crank for my height, which is 5'7", will definitely be the way to go. So let's get stuck in. I'll start with my crankset. Ultegra. Can't go wrong. Let's get it open. First thing, straight away, it's just how light it is. It's crazy. The other arm. It's got some grease on it just to keep things from corroding. What else we got in here? It's just, oh my goodness, make sure that is. It's just my cap for the end. Make sure I'm not throwing anything away. Instructions. I'll keep them there just in case. I don't need them. So yeah, I'll take a crankset 165 length, 50x34. So give me good speed, especially when 50x11. Which is a nice speed for me. I like when you know those flowy roads where you kind of, it's not really downhill, but it's just not uphill. I love going onto them and just blasting it, sitting on it maybe 40 or 50 kilometers an hour. I need that gear to do that. This is why I didn't go one by. I wasn't prepared to give that up. So that's that. Next up to go with that, to change gears here, is my front derailleur, which I could find. I think this is it. Yep. Again, Ultegra. I know I'm building my own group set, but it won't be a complete Frankenstein. Plus Ultegra are solid, you know, I've ridden a 105 for years and has never let me down. But I've heard that Ultegra is even smoother and more reliable than a 105, so God, definitely the way to go. So in the box, got a bolt and take this out. So I needed a clamp-on version over my seat tube. Some bikes will have a bracket here where you can just screw it on. This one is not, just goes around your seat tube and just simply clamp it in. Move it up and down where I need it, and yeah, I'll go through that. Remember, I'm putting them together for you. Next I'll show you my rear cassette and the reason why I couldn't just get an entire group set. This is a mountain bike cassette. It is 11 by 40. The Shimano SLX, which is a pretty good version of mountain bike cassette. Sweet, look at the size of that thing. Cannot wait to see how this works. Going up mountains. Cannot wait. Next, I need a derailleur that will allow me to go from this to this to this to this. So it's going to be a big one. So I had to go mountain bike again, and it is Shimano XTR. This is the top of the line version you can get from Shimano in a mountain bike. Well packaged, and obviously it is a long cage, so it will allow me the gear differential I need. She looks like a beauty. Look at that. Oh my god. It's really nice. So look at that. That is a long cage. Alright. Also has a clutch built in to stop from chain slap when things get rough. Very light. Surprisingly light. Yeah, just in case. What else we got? Next up we have our gear levers and brake levers. These came separately for some reason, even though I bought them together. They are again Ultegra, for the same reason I was saying earlier with the front derailleur, that 105 is great, but I heard Ultegra even better. And I love the 105s. These should be great too. So what's in here? We got, let's see, tell me which is which. Right. So we've got a brake caliper, flat mount brake caliper. And flat mount means, I already went through what it means, but it just means you have to make sure it's either a flat mount or a post mount to make sure you get the right one that goes with your bike. My bike needs a flat mount, so here we go. Cable down. I actually thought cables were, I thought this was already blade system, but it doesn't matter. Let me show you how to do that too. Here is the shifter. Looking forward to getting to know that. Just add wee bits and pieces here to help with your gear levers or your gear cables, and also bolts here for bolting your caliper to your frame. Okay, obviously stuff there to help you bleed it as well. Yeah, all here. Doesn't look like it's blade, and there's barbs here that you need for bleeding, so it looks like I'll be bleeding myself. It's fine. We have a short cable at the back from the frame to the derailleur. Longer cable for the gear cables from the levers to your frame. And of course we have the shifter cable. Lot of rubbish this. Jeez. And for the other side, the front derailleur. Again we have our rear brakes. Sorry, our front brakes. Left hand lever. And we have all our bits and bobs again to help us bleed the gears, bleed the brakes and to start the gears. we have here just one cable because I don't need any more. It just goes from our lever to the frame. And obviously our gear. Now I'm kind of glad that I have to bleed my own brakes because I wanted to make sure I don't have any excess cables around, so I'll be able to cut them to the right lengths. So next up are my brake rotors. Two 160mm brake rotors. These are so cool. They are Shimano's Jtek brake rotors, 160mm. Center lock, that's what hub I went for. Make sure it matches your hub. Don't touch, when you're taking this out, don't touch the rotor with your hands in case you have any contaminants in your hands. You don't want to get it dirty straight away. So, yeah, she's a beaut. So we have our center lock that slips onto our hub. Where the heck is our hub? Oh, that fits nice. And then comes with a bolt then, just to keep it in place. And obviously when the wheel is on the frame, it's not going to go anywhere anyway. Yeah, so I've got aluminium arms here. These black parts are aluminium, just to keep the weight down. These steel parts here, they're heat sinks, so whenever you slam on the brakes, the braking surface here is going to heat up really hot, especially if you're braking for a long time. That heat can be transferred into these heat pans, and it's got slots in these heat pans for cooling them as quickly as possible. So it's constantly drawing the heat away from the rotor, keeping things cool, keeping things efficient. Definitely a great system. So, okay, now some of you clever guys may be there thinking I'm going to get such a shock when I put it together, because Shimano's road version index at a different position than Shimano's mountain bike version. This means if I want to move from first to second on a road bike, say for example it might move 1 mil. If I had a mountain bike gear change, that one gear change might move, for example, 1.5 mil. So as I go through the gears, by the time I get to the third and fourth gears, I won't be in the right gear, because the cable will be pulled at a different length than what this is expecting it to be pulled. So luckily there was a way around that, and I came across a company called Jtek. They created this little pulley which I have to put inline somewhere between the cable, between the lever and the derailleur. And basically put the cable in here, wrap it around that wheel, and continue it on. This changes the gear ratio of how much the cable has been pulled between the lever and the derailleur. So nice little bit of kit. Thank God to make it, or it was pretty screwed. What else? Next up we have just my run cables there actually. I got these little barrel adjusters to adjust the cable just as it starts to stretch. I can put this in as the cable goes under the frame. I can just have them in place. Then after that, my bottom bracket. So I wasn't going to go with a cartridge bottom bracket because, well, even though weight isn't my biggest issue, I still don't want a heavy bike. A cartridge bottom bracket is heavier, and I think this type of Ultegra crankset is just lighter overall, which does mean I have to buy a bottom bracket, and because there's threads in my frame, I'm going to need threaded bottom bracket, and I went for an external threaded bottom bracket. Now, what I really wanted was ceramic speed. They are super duper low friction. You'll see later when I put the crank into the frame that it'll only spin once or twice, really. This is because of mainly the grease in and around the bearings, just kind of slow things down a bit. But that's not really why I wanted the ceramic speed. It's because their longevity, the ceramic bearings will last much longer, up to 10 times longer. Now, saying that, these are less than €30 and can easily be replaced, and it also will last an incredibly long time. So what I did get is another Shimano bottom bracket. It's the SMBBR60. As I say, Shimano equipment, always good, so I should just slot in there and you plug and play. What else we got? Now, how am I going to pedal the damn thing? I need pedals, and for adventure riding, in my opinion, road pedals are just too difficult to walking. So I always use mountain bike pedals now. I haven't noticed any difference in power or comfort. So the only difference I see is when I'm walking that I can walk easier. Especially just easier when you're walking around the shops, you don't look like a penguin. Now Shimano's mountain bike pedals are, I'd say they're very good. I've used them for years on my mountain bikes. Their top of the line is the XTR, which is a really robust pedal, but obviously it's because the R is for racing, everything is power bagged and it's for as light as possible. The XT, which is one I got, it's as robust as the XTR, but it's a little bit heavier, and because of that it's actually more robust. And that's again what I want, and we're talking grams here anyway, so there we go. Sweet. They've actually upgraded these now to have a larger surface area here and at the back. Another good thing about mountain bike pedals is that you can clip in on both sides. Oh, come with cleats. So obviously these cleats are different than road cleats. As you can see, they're a lot smaller. So that's why it's easier to walk in, because them cleats are actually up in the shoe. Yeah, and finally, last but definitely not least, is the chain. You don't need a chain to let all this work. Without this, all this is useless. Saying that, you can get pretty cheap chains from $20 up to $100 depending on what you want. Just make sure you have the right speed for the rear cassette. Obviously if you're a 10-speed cassette, you're going to need a 10-speed chain. It doesn't have to be, I got Shimano here, that's only because it was actually a reasonable price. You can get other 11-speed chains that will do it for this. I think I have one here. Yeah, KMC, an 11-speed. I've used these before as well and really great. This one seems heavier at the moment, but pretty good for the case. So, yeah, Shimano, can't go wrong again. Just be careful. I say you can use any brand, but maybe SRAM across to Shimano. There are different variances there, especially Shimano's 12-speed. Oh, sorry, SRAM's 12-speed actually is a different shape of the chain. So just be careful. It won't all go the way you want it, but there is a lot of cross compatibility. That's the important thing there. Make sure it's 11-speed and make sure it's long enough so it will actually, from your crankset, right round to the outside of your largest sprocket. So it's important you get that right. And that's it. That's my group set. That's my wheel set. My frame set. The likes. That's really it. I think I can nearly start building soon, which I cannot wait. And obviously, once I have it built, I gotta ride it. It's been this long in the making that it seems surreal now that I'm actually putting it together. So I do have a few other bits I can show you here, just wee finishing kits. So for bottle cages, obviously you're gonna need bottle cage. I went with just the generics. set again from that bike.components.de. It's a stainless steel set, and these are really light. At the same time with stainless steel, they're going to be robust and last for a long time. But there's no weight in them. That's with the paper. So really recommend them. They're going to hold your bottle really securely for miles and miles to come. So I've got 3 of them. Also, as you can see, it's silver. So it should go with my silver theme, if you will. For now, I'm just going to go with a small saddle bag, just so I'm able to use the bike and take stuff with me. I went with a Pro saddle bag, just the right size for me, and take everything I need. Just as, if I can take this out, show you properly. Just goes under your saddle. Got a pocket here. Oh gosh, it's very fancy. For all your stuff. Small pocket here for possibly your scabs or your sticky patches. Not only that, first time I've actually seen this on a small saddle bag, it's got a side pocket. So putting stuff like your key or money. So that's nice. I actually didn't even know I had that. A strap there too for hanging on a light possibly. Yeah, that is a solid little seat bag. I also carry some stuff in my top tube. So I got a new top tube bag. I've seen a lot of people talking about these Pro Discover top tube bags. It's got a seam here that makes it waterproof when it's closed, obviously. And inside we've got a nice pocket there to keep things separate. Also a massive area there for lots of stuff. So for your phone, lots of stuff, food and kitchen sink. It's really good. Also has got a section inside here to hold stuff externally, so if you want to take anything extra, say I go to the shop and buy some sweets or crisps or anything like that, stick them in there. Yeah, I like that. Can't wait to get going with that. And that's all my new stuff from my bike. Do you have some older stuff obviously I have to be putting on? Let's start building.